Mark, was there anything maybe tactical that you guys executed at a higher level defensively in the second half? Was it more effort, energy? What made the difference after halftime?
The first half just wasn't great for us, and credit them. They made it hard on us. They ran us. They just kind of punched us in the mouth around the basket. They were posting their wings. They were posting everybody. And I just thought we got a little frantic and off our game in terms of execution. And, when you don't execute and you're not overly physical against a team like that, you're going to get punished for it. So it's a good lesson for us. And then I thought we came out in the second half, and that's all we did. We amped up our physicality. We executed and got sharper, stopped playing the scoreboard and just played the possession and stacked those up and had a really good defensive half.
And then you guys are on that big run and have this transition opportunity. Shea has it, and he specifically seems to hunt out where Aaron Wiggins is. What's going through your mind in that moment, either about either of those two guys or just the team in general for that play to unfold?
Yeah, I thought Shea's trust of his teammates down the stretch was really, really good. That play, he hit the pocket a couple times against the double teams, and those guys made great decisions, ended in a three, ended in a foul. And Wiggins, I'm happy for him. He's done this before. We know how good of a player he is, but he played 5 minutes, I think, against Indiana. Didn't play in the second half, and turned around, had a really good outing against Charlotte, and strung together a good week and got himself back on track and just kept his confidence and didn't make excuses. Just went and played, and then tonight, got rewarded for that persistence. So I was happy to see him contribute the way he did, make the shots he made. He was really, really good in the fourth.
And Mark, I'm just curious, was the plan, because Hartenstein was at the table for a while, was the plan for him to come get Aaron until Aaron started kind of going on that run?
No, he was getting Kaysen, and Kaysen had been in there for a while. I think he started the quarter, so I thought he was gassed. We had our Brunson matchup, and if Lou fouled out, we were going to have to get Kaysen back in on Brunson. I wanted to make sure he had gas in the tank for that, so it was more that.
So I guess I would ask, why this game for Aaron? Why play him down the stretch? Like, why did this game make the most sense?
Well, he was making every shot, so I was just responding to that. Usually if you were making every shot, I'd play you.
I hope so. And with Doug, we've obviously talked a bunch about the push and pull with refs and his aggression at the rim. It feels like he's been, assertive at the rim these past couple games, especially in that fourth quarter. Just what do you see there as far as his force, the force he played with?
Yeah, I thought his force was much better second half to first half. I thought in the first half he bailed on a couple of them. And in the second half, he was faster, more forceful. And we've done a great job of continuing to drive in there. Obviously, the free throws were a huge narrative early in the season, rightfully so. And we've just been relentless about going. And the whistles started to come around. And then we've also addressed a lot of the things fundamentally, defensively, that were putting our opponents on the line. And so the combination of our persistence on the driving and the offense and our fundamentals on defense has turned the free throw differential for us in some of these games, which has been big for us.
You don't know how much you are late in the game. I don't know how much you are calling plays or anything, but you guys haven't had many opportunities in these clutch moments. Can you talk about their comfortability level to just letting them just keep things going, and I don't want to say stand out the way, but staying out of the way?
Yeah, I thought our execution on both ends was pretty good. Bridges he missed a three that we just weren't guarding him on. We got to learn from that. We got to be more ready than that. But for the most part, really good execution defensively, and not giving them anything easy on that end of the floor. And then offensively getting to our spacing and finding some matchups. And then they started double teaming, and we moved it out of that really well. So we work on it all the time, and we also are a team that has some continuity, and we've been in a lot of these situations in the past, and so we've got the cumulative knowledge from that, and then we try to keep it sharp in practices and shoot-arounds.
I think you should talk about what went into starting iHeart on Josh Hart, J-Dub on Cat.
Yeah, just J-Dub's comfortability with Towns and, limiting some of the things that he brings to the table. Obviously, he's a really dynamic player, so you're not going to limit everything. But, they're a really good team that forces you to prioritize, and that's what we chose to do tonight. But that doesn't mean that we'll stick with that forever.
What did you think of Jay Will's defense tonight?
I thought, well, a couple things. Yeah, the first thing I'll say is the play where Dub and Hart tied up for the same, it was like a teammates getting a jump ball, and then the other team gets the ball and lays the ball in for an and one. It's just like such a deflating play. And I thought that was a great opportunity for us to like really test what we're made of, because we've obviously won a lot of games, especially lately, and that's like the classic, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and that's usually the type of thing, especially when you're trying to come back in the game, that's the type of thing that can tear, you can start to drift, from the team in those situations. And we just kept going. And I thought Jay Will, second half, Isaiah Joe, was part of that run, despite the fact that he didn't have a great shooting night. Obviously, Wiggins speaks for itself. I just thought we got great contributions, from real like team guys that kept the threads together at a time when it wasn't an easy game and things weren't always going our way. And I thought that was really impressive. And I thought Jay Will was a part of that.
It looked like AJ left the game a little bit early. Is there any update on him?
He's got a toe sprain, and we'll see him in the morning. But he didn't come back.
And you're playing Tom Thibodeau in the Knicks, and he notoriously plays his guys 40-plus minutes night after night after night. You have never been afraid to go even 11 deep on just any given night and do just that conflict of styles. I mean, you just look in amazement at those guys just playing all those minutes all the time, as opposed to, your philosophy where you just play guys, 10, 11 deep.
We're all running our own race, and everybody's a little bit different. And I have great respect for Coach Tibbs, and I have great respect for their players. Everybody runs different offense. Everybody has different schemes, different terminology. One's not right or wrong. We've got our head down on our race, and everybody else is doing the same.
Coach, the next team on this very difficult stretch is the defending champs, Boston, on Sunday. I don't know if you've had any chance to think about that game, but can you talk about that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, this whole stretch, we're excited to play against really good teams that are going to throw their best punch, and so are we. And that's how you grow as a team, as you go through the different experiences of the season. Every night is a different challenge for a different reason. They're obviously a very tall order, and so we've got to fill our tank. I think tonight was 5 and 7. And so we've had a tough stretch here. We've got to fill the tank tomorrow and be ready to play again on Sunday. But we're excited to test ourselves in every game. We never want to waste an opportunity to compete.
Mark, you just said a couple times this week now that the free throws were a huge narrative early in the season. It sounds like past tense. Or you feel like that's in the past now, that's changed?
I just think the differential is turning for us a little bit, and I think it's a combination of defensive fundamentals. I mean, we're not blaming everything on the officials. We're going to look in the mirror always, and defensively we were slapping and grabbing and a little bit undisciplined and over-aggressive in certain situations, and we've really tried to identify those and improve, and the guys have done a great job with that on that end. And then the message has been that we're going to be unrelenting going to the paint and to the basket on the offensive end, and trust that the whistle's going to come around. And that's been the message to the team. And I give the guys credit because we weren't getting whistles early, and it hasn't drifted us into this like soft jump shooting team. We're continuing to attack and trusting that we'll get the calls if we deserve them.
You guys were down 7, I think, with like 6 or 7 minutes left. Kaysen has that blunder where the ball goes out of bounds on the fast break, and him and Dub start laughing. Most teams in a high intense game like this are getting their head down. You just mentioned seeing what you guys are made of. Like, does that give you a sense of comfortability that these guys are relaxed in these moments?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to with the Hart J-Dub jump ball. There's we had a bunch of plays like that tonight. The game, second night of a back-to-back, 5 and 7. We were just a little sloppy, to be honest with you. Just some uncharacteristic sloppy plays. And some of them came on that play, the Dub Hart one, when we had kind of come around defensively and come around in the game, and yet we're running up against some tough plays and bad luck plays, and again, those are the types of things that can fracture a team in an individual game. And I thought our ability to just stay together and work through it together is an important skill that we want to have and that we need to develop. And I thought the guys did a great job of that tonight.
Anybody else?
All right.